Have you ever felt like life has become one long marathon, but no one gave you a map, no one told you where the finish line is, and somehow you're expected to sprint the whole way? Welcome back to Psyche Unveiled. You wake up already behind. You move through your day feeling like you're constantly reacting, constantly catching up. And by the end of it, you collapse, exhausted, but your brain refuses to shut off. That's not weakness. That's overload. And it's more common than you think. Modern life has trained us to live in a state of constant alert. We're flooded with information, demands, distractions, and expectations, all competing for our attention. Psychologically, this creates a baseline of chronic stress, one that your nervous system wasn't designed to sustain long-term. Think of it like this. Your mind and body are trying to run a marathon every day, but you're not giving yourself time to rest, refuel, or even check which direction you're going. Eventually, that kind of pace doesn't just lead to burnout. It rewires your brain to expect stress as normal. But what if that didn't have to be your baseline? In this video, we'll show you 5 simple, science-backed habits that help your brain shift out of survival mode and into a state of calm, clarity, and control. No medication, no drastic life overhaul, just small changes that train your nervous system to feel safe again. Because you weren't designed to sprint through life, you were designed to live it with presence, focus, and peace. Let's begin. Habit 1. Create a calm start. The first habit is about starting your day on your terms. Most of us wake up and immediately reach for our phone. Within seconds, we're downloading stress, notifications, bad news, unfinished tasks. What you do in the first 10 minutes after waking sets your nervous system's tone for the rest of the day. Instead of jumping into chaos, create what psychologists call a transition ritual. This could be 5 minutes of silence, a few deep breaths, journaling one intention for the day, listening to calming music before speaking to anyone. This gives your prefrontal cortex, the decision-making part of your brain, a chance to fully come online before stress hijacks it. Think of it as setting your internal weather forecast before the day begins. Habit 2. Move to regulate. Movement is one of the most underrated mental health tools we have. It's not about burning calories or achieving fitness goals. It's about regulating your nervous system. When we experience chronic stress, our body is in fight or flight mode far more than it should be. Moving your body, especially rhythmic movement like walking, swimming, or dancing, tells your brain you're not in danger anymore. This is called biological feedback. Your body signals safety to your mind. It also increases dopamine and serotonin, 2 key neurotransmitters associated with mood, motivation, and well-being. Here's the best part. Even 10 to 15 minutes a day makes a measurable difference. No gym required. If you want to make it even better, walk without your phone. Let your brain wander. It promotes mental clarity and problem solving. Habit 3. Cognitive boundaries. One of the biggest sources of stress isn't what we do. It's what we agree to do that we don't actually have the capacity for. In psychology, this is about boundary setting, not just physically, but cognitively. Every yes you say to someone else is a withdrawal from your own mental energy bank. And most people are in chronic cognitive debt. The human brain can only hold about 5 to 9 active thoughts at once. If you're juggling dozens of commitments, you're burning through decision fatigue early in the day. Habit number 3 is about learning to pause before committing. Asking yourself, is this aligned with my priorities? Do I have the bandwidth for this? Am I saying yes out of obligation or intention? The practice of saying no, or even, let me get back to you, is one of the most powerful stress reduction tools available. Your brain was designed for focus, not constant negotiation. Habit 4. Eat for mental resilience. We usually think of food in terms of weight and energy, but food also impacts our mental health. There's a strong link between the gut and the brain. In fact, your gut is often called the second brain. Why? Because it produces around 90% of your body's serotonin, the neurotransmitter responsible for mood, sleep, and emotional regulation. When your diet is full of refined sugars, caffeine spikes, and processed foods, your gut gets inflamed. That inflammation signals your brain that something's wrong, even when it isn't. This creates a low-level stress response all day long. Here's what helps. Complex carbs like oats and quinoa to keep blood sugar stable. Healthy fats like avocado and nuts for brain function. Fermented foods like yogurt, kimchi, or kefir for gut health. Plenty of water. Even mild dehydration increases stress. Feed your brain like it's an organ, not just a storage tank. The right fuel matters. Habit 5. Digital downtime. Reclaiming your mental bandwidth. Let's talk about one of the most silent stress triggers in modern life. Constant digital stimulation. Every time you check your phone, respond to a notification, or scroll without thinking, your brain receives a small dopamine reward, a hit of stimulation that keeps you coming back. Psychologists call this intermittent reinforcement, and it's one of the most powerful behavioral loops we know of. Over time, it trains your brain to expect frequent input and to feel unsettled without it. The result? Your mind rarely rests. Your nervous system stays slightly activated. You feel more anxious, even when nothing's wrong. That's why daily digital downtime is so important. This means carving out 30 to 60 minutes a day with no screens, no messages, no input. It's a chance to let your nervous system reset, your mind breathe, and your attention repair itself. During that time, do something slow and grounding. Take a walk, journal, prepare food, or simply stare out the window. It's not about being productive, it's about creating mental white space. Because without intentional breaks, your brain starts to confuse stimulation with urgency, and that's a fast track to burnout. So make this a habit. Unplug once a day. Think of it as a gift to your future self, the one who wants to feel calm, focused, and present again. So let's take a breath here. We've just gone through 5 powerful habits, each one backed by science, simple to implement, and proven to help reduce stress naturally. But maybe you're thinking, how do I actually apply this in real life when I'm busy, tired, and overwhelmed? Let's break it down. Here's the core idea. Your brain is shaped by what you do every day. Stress isn't just a reaction, it's a pattern. And like any pattern, it can be reprogrammed. Each time you choose calm over chaos, intention over impulse, you're reinforcing new neural pathways. You're literally teaching your brain that it doesn't have to stay in survival mode. And that's the difference between managing stress and being owned by it. These habits work together, like a puzzle. Calming your mornings sets the tone for the day. Moving your body releases trapped stress and boosts your neurochemistry. Setting boundaries protects your attention and decision-making power. Eating for your brain supports your emotional resilience from the inside. Unplugging regularly lets your mind detox from overstimulation. Individually, each one moves the needle, but together, they create a baseline of safety for your nervous system. And that's where real change starts. When your body no longer thinks it's constantly under threat, you become calmer, you react slower, you sleep deeper. You stop spiraling over little things because your system isn't already maxed out. And here's the best part. You don't need to get all 5 perfect. This isn't a checklist for productivity. It's a toolbox for resilience. Even practicing just one habit consistently can create momentum because progress in one area starts to spill into the others. You walk daily, you sleep better, you make better food choices, you eat better, you think clearer, you say no more confidently, you say no, you get your mornings back. You see how it builds? Psychologically speaking, stress isn't always avoidable, but chronic stress is manageable. The key is to give your brain and body regular signals of safety. That's what these habits are. Micro signals that say, you're safe now. You don't have to be in fight or flight. And over time, that becomes your new normal. A life where you're relaxed. You can actually enjoy the moment. You respond rather than react. You feel more grounded, even when life gets messy. So if nothing else, remember this. Your habits are either fueling your stress or calming it. You get to choose. And even the smallest change, done daily, can completely rewire how you move through the world. You don't need a new life. You need a new rhythm. And it starts with just one habit today. Modern life asks a lot of us, but very few of us are taught how to protect our mental bandwidth. If you've been feeling anxious, overwhelmed, or like you're barely keeping up, That doesn't mean you're failing. It means your system is overloaded, and your body is doing its best to protect you. These daily habits are how you reset that system. They're small, but they signal to your brain, you're safe now, you can let go. So today, try just one. Maybe it's a slow morning. Maybe it's a walk without your phone. Maybe it's a polite no to something that drains you. And just watch what happens when you give your brain a little space to breathe. If you found this video helpful, consider liking, subscribing, and sharing it with someone you care about. In the comments, let me know, which of these habits are you starting this week? And if you want more tools to build mental clarity, emotional balance, and a calmer brain, this channel has plenty more coming. Remember, your stress is real, but it's not permanent, and you're more capable of change than you think. We will see you in the next video.